Hey y'all, it's Kirk. So ask Dr. Kirk. I don't episode, who knows? Who's counting? So today I'm going to tackle the most popular question that I have gotten since I've started Ask Dr. Kirk. So many people ask this question that it's hard to give credit to one person. I'm going to read one version of it because I think it encompassed it fairly well. And this person asked to be anonymous. So, Dr. Kirk, as a nurse, I know better than what I'm about to say. I have now opted out of getting the yearly flu shot and signed the waiver. The reason being is because the last two times I got the flu shot, I got very ill. I know from my education the flu shot did not give me the flu, but yet here we are. So once and for all, please put it to bed in the Dr. Kirk simple way. Did the flu shot give me the flu? So, anonymous. But like I said, many people ask this exact same kind of scenario. So, this will answer that question without having to out this person. Um, First and foremost, let me say no. The flu shot did not give you the flu, and it is impossible. However, you did get ill, didn't you? So, one of three things happened and that I'm going to explain to you today. One of three things happened, okay? And after I explain those three things to you, I'm also going to explain to you how it doesn't matter. That sounds a little harsh and flippant, but I will explain to you what I mean by that. So let's start off with number one. Number one, you probably got a very good immune response. So, to explain an immune response, I'm going to take you back to vaccines in general. So, vaccines, what is a vaccine? A vaccine is actually a trick. Easy now. They're tinfoil hat people. I don't mean it's a trick like vaccines aren't real or they're a hoax or something. Vaccines are a way that we protect ourselves by tricking our immune system to make an army that can fight whatever it is you're trying to vaccinate against. So, for example, if I give the flu shot, I am tricking the body into making soldiers to fight the flu. So, it's a way that we trick the immune system. You are given a dead version of that entity you're trying to protect yourself from, or sometimes particles of the organism you're trying to protect yourself from, or in some cases, even a live version of the organism you're trying to protect yourself from. Now, the flu is not a live vaccine. There are a couple of those we can talk about some other time, but the flu is not one. So you're not being given the flu, the live flu per se. You're given a dead version or particles of it so that we trick your immune system into thinking, hey, there's the flu. Let's make this army of immune cells to fight the flu. So our alarm systems go off in our body, and our immune system is tricked into making soldiers that are protecting us from the flu and will fight the flu. We're tricking the body into making an army, which is really cool. I mean, it's really cool science when we do that. Well, here's the problem. What are our alarm systems? Our alarm systems in our body for the immune response to rally the troops and say, hey, make the troops, is things like fever, body aches, achiness, feeling tired, fatigued, headache. All of these things are part of our natural immune response to sound the alarm that goes right along with our immune system making this army. So I'm going to take you guys back a little bit. You remember when you took your kids or your grandkids or some of y'all who've kids a long, long time ago, remember when you took your kids for their shots? Do you remember what the nurse told you was going to happen possibly that day? They said, hey, you might want to give them a little bit of Tylenol because after these shots, they might have a little mild fever. They might feel achy. They might not feel tired. That's an immune response. That's what happens when you take a good vaccine. Your body can have, and everybody's different. Somebody have it more pronounced than others, but you're going to have an immune response because we're tricking the alarm system to go off so that we can make these soldiers to help fight the flu. So it's weird that when we're adults, we forget that that's what happens when we get vaccines. We can get achiness, fever, all these kind of things. And a lot of times this happens, and people will, of course, assume, because they forgot that that's what vaccines do to you. They'll go, I got the flu shot and it gave me the flu. It's a mistake that we make, and you think that that's what it is. Now, that bunch of soldiers that we make are designed to fight specific strains of the flu, and they make the flu vaccine different every year because they're on prediction, and this is based on statistics and what strains are around. They try to predict the most common strains. Sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 4, so you'll hear the words quadvalent or trivalent vaccine that you get every year. It's a different vaccine every year that they predict which strain, and they make to where your body's going to make specific soldiers for those strains. Now, if you encounter a different strain than the one that's in the flu, you're already still going to have some partial protection, because that army, even though it's not the specific army for it, still pretty good at fighting the flu. So it'll help fight off. So a lot of times when people get the flu, because it's not 100%, and they encounter a strain that the vaccine didn't cover for, they're much less sick than if they wouldn't have gotten the flu shot. So that's number one. Number one is you had a good immune response like you were supposed to, and you mistaken that for getting sick, okay? Number 2 and 3 are pretty easy. Number 2, it didn't work. You encountered like we talked about, you encountered a strain that the vaccine didn't quite cover. So you can still get the flu, absolutely. Nothing is 100%. You got one of these strains, but like I said, you're going to be less ill because you got that vaccine, as opposed to if you didn't have it at all, okay? Number 3, this takes some time. So tricking your system actually takes a little bit of time. So in fact, they say the average is around 2 weeks. So if you encountered flu within that 2 weeks before your immune system was able to make those soldiers, then yeah, you're still susceptible to getting the flu. So it's perhaps in that little 2-week window, as it was trying to get up, that you contracted it. Or here's even funnier. Perhaps you contracted the flu and were exposed to those germs before you got the vaccine. It takes a little while for flu to actually manifest in our bodies. So it's perhaps that you were on the way to being sick and you went ahead and got the flu shot, and it was already there. So now, before we can even make those soldiers, you have the flu. So one of those 3 things happened. But the flu vaccine absolutely did not give you the flu. Now, I told you I'd tell you why none of it matters anyways. Well, here's the mistake that a lot of people make. You'll get the flu shot, and then maybe you'll get the flu, or you'll look at the numbers and you'll be like, man, that flu vaccine this year was awful. Like, it didn't prevent, most people still got the flu, even though they got the flu vaccine and all that stuff. And sometimes that does happen. But that really doesn't matter to us. Us physicians, let me tell you why. It's because of something I already hinted at. So it's cool if the flu vaccine prevents you guys from getting the flu. That'd be great. I'd love that. That's awesome. But here's the deal. The flu vaccine, like I said, is going to give you these soldiers that your body's going to build that's going to make you less sick than if you didn't have the vaccine. So what do I mean by that? I mean, you get the flu, I send you home and tell you to go eat chicken soup, and a couple of days of just weathering the storm and taking some Mucinex, you get better. That's fine. Some people get the flu and have complications that have them hospitalized, have them to where they are now going into the hospital and possibly even dying. If you have those soldiers that know at least how to partially fight off this influenza, then you end up being one of the chicken soup people as opposed to the people in the hospital. That's what we care about. So maybe we didn't prevent you from getting the flu, but we prevented awful hospitalizations from influenza because you got that virus and you at least had some soldiers to fight. That's what we care about. So, yeah, look, flu's awful. If you've ever had it, man, it's rough. It's really rough. And you have a storm you have to weather, and there's some work ahead of us trying to get you feeling well. But hey, man, chicken soup's better than dying. Promise you that. So, if anybody ever asks me, Dr. Kirk, do you believe in the flu vaccine? Well, yeah, of course. I'd much rather go home and take some cough medicine and chicken soup and than go into the hospital. So that's the reason we do it. I hope this helps explain some of the stuff. Look, I can talk about this kind of stuff anytime. So message me if you have any further questions about it. But yeah, flu vaccine didn't give you the flu. When you get your vaccines, make it no different than when we were young. Take Tylenol that day. Understand that you're probably going to get a good immune response. And honestly, if you do have a good immune response and some achiness for a day and everything, go, yay, that's a good immune response. That'll get me protected for when the flu season actually hits. Hope this helps, guys. Remember, this is Ask Dr. Kirk. Y'all go ahead and send me some more. I'm loving them. I'm trying to catch up with them as quickly as I can. Love y'all. Mean it. Jesus loves you. Go tell somebody else about Jesus, will you? Bye.